whenever you guys are ready to give me a countdown.
Alright, that sounds good. So welcome to Monster Rancher Hop-A-Bout. Garby, you mind if I take the reins here a little bit?
Sure, yeah.
Cool. Alright, I'm gonna get us started first, and I'll try and talk over the first couple levels since they're pretty straightforward. So here is your countdown. 3, 2, 1. Let's kick this thing off. So this is the best Monster Rancher game.
I think I missed the go, but I figured you said it in the same pace.
Yeah, probably close enough. I forgot to mash to start through the cutscene anyway, so you're probably already a second ahead of me. So welcome to Monster Rancher Hop-A-Bout. This is the best Monster Rancher game. We're going to be hopping about, and that's basically the entire plot. What you're seeing right now is what we're going to be doing for a while. The story goes, and I don't know how true it is, that the company that actually produced this game, like the sub-company that produced it, had already made the game before they acquired the license, and the license was sort of foisted on them. They didn't actually want to make a Monster Rancher game. And so as an act of spite, they just slapped the Monster Rancher label onto the game they'd already made, which is this. Which previous incarnations actually include an arcade version for a standing arcade machine, a machine which I've never encountered myself, but I'd love to try it. But this was not well received, as you can well imagine, so it's another game that would have fit pretty well in the silly or the bad games block. The argument could easily be made it's not a bad game, and I think I would make that argument as well. It's actually really fun, but certainly if you purchased it looking for a Monster Rancher game, you were probably pretty disappointed. There's going to be a divergence of strategies coming up as we get into the early to mid-teens or so, where I'm going to be going for a lot more risky strats than Garby's going to be going for, which means I'm probably going to screw them up really badly, so we'll see how that goes. Nice. I got the shape of the jump off of stage 3 that DJ Bunyan taught me yesterday.
Oh my gosh, I messed up stage 3 pretty badly.
Yeah? Did you hit the rocket platform?
No. I fell after hitting one of those breakable tiles.
The game has really weird physics, which makes controlling it really challenging. It doesn't work the way you would think it does from watching it. Like, you don't really control the jump, per se. The game has momentum in the same way that Marble Madness does. So I would describe it as having Marble Madness physics. If you can imagine you're really more tilting the board than you are controlling your racer, you'd have a pretty good idea about how this actually works. And every 4 stages that you go without a game over, the game puts an item in your inventory, and we get this little animation. Which wastes about 4.5 seconds. So during the speed run, we're sort of just mashing, going, okay, enough already, let's go. And it is a speed run of seconds. The world record was set actually yesterday by DJ Bunyan, who actually had the previous record as well. Although Garby and I are both within about 2 minutes of the current record, and shaving off 4 or 5 seconds here or there is actually a huge time save in this game.
Yeah.
A lot of what we're looking to do in this game as well is to set up for consistent movement. The game does not have a lot of consistent movement to work with, so essentially the only way you can have your movement be consistent is to find a way to just hold the button down the whole time. You want to set up a route where you can just hold up and just make adjustments from left to right and shave off essentially one dimension that you have to worry about. And a lot of the early stages we can do that really easily. You basically just set up on one specific route and hold up the whole time. Once we get into the more complicated stages, we have to start actually landing on specific blocks. And that means not holding up the whole time, which means very inconsistent movement, which means a lot of deaths. So the early part of the run, usually very consistent, and we'll wind up having almost the exact same first 10 levels split. But after we get through the first 10 stages, everything goes wrong, and it gets really, really messy really, really fast.
Okay, something went wrong with me on 6. I don't know what happened there.
Might have clipped one of the ledges. I've had that happen to me before.
Yeah.
A Kuso game from a while ago. Well, we actually did have this game in Big Bad Game-a-thon last year. High Spirits ran it for us, and then pretty much all of us were like, I need to play this. This looks super fun. We were all right. Every single one of us was totally right. It was super fun. Although the first time I played it, it was a rage game because we actually did a blind race between me and NPC. And blind, this game is so frustrating. Whoop. Oh, no, 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 no. Ooh, saved it. I had a bad stage 8 and missed the double arrows at the end, but it's okay.
I'm missing a lot of the double arrows, actually.
Ah, that's alright.
Okay, yeah.
You're going to catch me in the late stages, I'm sure. The general policy has been that in these races with Garby, I race Garby in games all the time, and I'll usually get a very early lead, and keep that lead until the last 2 minutes of the run. And then choke. That's more typical. It's been that way in PUBG, it's been that way in Monster Rancher Hop-A-Bout. I'm sure it'll be that way in other games soon.
Okay, 9's being a jerk.
I actually got 9. I got the 67.5 on 9. A lot of the,
wow, you're like...
It's alright, don't sweat it. I'm gonna go for DJ Bunyan's super risky strat here. Oh, come on. There we go.
Okay,
Alright, we got it.
Nice.
Yes! Haha! Alright, that feels pretty good. So that's another one of DJ Bunyan's weird strats he taught me yesterday that I actually managed to get on the first try, which I'm super excited about. That's really hard. We call it the thumb grinder. Again, because it's got Marble Madness physics, trying to turn or change direction is nearly impossible, and it requires really mashing down the D-pad in a very strange way, and it chews up your thumb really bad. Gonna go for a super risky strat here. I think I had one extra jump I didn't need to have on this stage. This stage introduces a little bit more readily the rocket platforms, which are the bane of speedrunning. They waste 3 seconds each time you step on them, and they're very cool and very helpful in the casual run, but we really want to avoid them in the speedrun as much as possible. But this stage actually requires them, so we have to deal with that.
Yeah. I may be going for more than rocket platforms just because it's generally a safer way to do it.
Yeah, the strategy I went for there was not very safe. And it's more fun to go for the risky strats, I guess. I'm gonna go for a really risky strat in this stage. I actually found a couple skips here last night that I want to see if I can get in real time.
Cool.
Got the first one. Oh, I missed the safety heart. That's not good. Got an extra jump I didn't need as well, so we're not doing so good on the skips. Alright, this will be bad. Oh, I took a game over, so you're gonna catch up. Shouldn't have gone for the risky strat. It's alright, I'm gonna go for it back-to-back attempts, too. We're gonna go for it until I get it. It's gonna be great. You're gonna love it. Actually, it is a super big time save. It's probably about 4.5 seconds, which in this game is enormous. You lose about 20 for a game over. 24 seconds or so is actually a fairly typical game over cost. 22, 24, somewhere in that range. And this is not going to be the first game over of this race, I am sure.
I think I accidentally got to skip on this level on 12.
Yeah, I screwed it up. I'm not going to be able to go for the skip, so I guess we're going back to normal strats. Oh my gosh, I'm just going to bounce all over the place. There we go. Let's see if I can fix this. No more skips, I suppose.
Okay.
Let's play it safe. Get back into the race. There we go. That was a mess. The good thing about this game, as compared to my run from Bubsy earlier in this marathon, is that if I screw this game up, it can only cost me about 10 or 15 seconds. It won't be 6 minutes overestimate on this one.
Okay, I forgot the strat on 13.
I actually...
That might be happening a lot, by the way.
Yes. Remembering these stage layouts is actually really hard because a lot of the stages look really similar, or like even parts of the stage look really similar. So just remembering where you are is pretty hard. And then a lot of these stages, to get perfect movement, you need to already be holding the correct direction by the time that the opening scroll is done. And if you forget what direction you're supposed to start and then you compensate later, you wind up with imperfect movement that causes all sorts of problems. You wind up all sorts of too short for the makeable jumps, and just everything goes really, really bad really fast.
Yeah.
I did get the risky strat in 14, so that feels good.
Cool. Yeah, I think we're pretty close again.
There should be a lot of lead changes in this race, because if I keep going for all these risky strats, I'm going to make up a lot of time and then choke every once in a while.
Yeah. Oh no! This could be... Okay, do that. Okay.
And yes, this is a pogo game. It is the best pogo game. I challenge you to find a better pogo game. I don't think one exists. That was not a good speed tile for me, that's alright. I should talk a little bit about what the tiles actually do and mean. There are a bunch of different types of specialty tiles that you've seen us hit. You'll notice the jump animation coming off of them is a little shallower and the camera tilts a little bit. It makes it really, really hard to control yourself coming off of those tiles, but a lot of those tiles are pretty much critical for a fast run. There are speed up or speed down tiles. There is a gravity increase or a gravity decrease tile. There are single arrows. There are double arrows. Double arrows only point forward. Single arrows go in either direction. There are mystery tiles. Oops, I forgot my own route and fell off while I was talking. That was my fault. And mystery tiles sort of shoot you off in whatever direction they feel like at a given time. They're completely random. Taking a slow strat through 16 because I forgot my own route. There are hearts, which increase your life, there are skulls, which decrease your life, and there are clocks that add 10 seconds to the timer, and there are clocks that subtract 10 seconds from the timer. And those are all of our specialty tiles. There's also those rockets that we've seen around from time to time, and the rockets, as I mentioned before, are really helpful for casual runs, and you should grab them when you're playing a game for funsies, but when you are speedrunning the game, it actually wastes 3 seconds every time you step on one of those tiles, so it's really, really, really bad to do that. Ooh, I think I got perfect movement on 17. Going up the left side the way I'm doing right now requires you to have a really, really, really good positioning on the way across, and it's really easy to overshoot it and just die as a result. But it's much easier to undershoot.
Oh no! Well, now I need to take this super safely. Okay, you're gonna catch up a lot.
Yeah, what's
I didn't game over, but
had the safety strat 17.
Slow. Okay, you're kind of like, I can't hear you perfectly, so I'm not hearing everything, so I may miss something. What you're saying?
Oh, that's alright. Probably not saying anything valuable anyway. I'm currently safety stratting 18 because I screwed up the positioning.
So yeah, you'll notice Kowallazy pull a lot ahead, but I'm doing one of the safer strats.
Yeah, we're gonna keep lead swapping as much as possible here. I'm going to choke on a lot of these strategies, because a lot of these strategies are super high risk for super low reward, and unfortunately optimizing this game is all that. There is no such thing as a high risk, high reward strat, it's only a high risk, low reward. You're saving a couple seconds at the most. Most of the strats that I'm employing are literally to save one jump, which is typically about 1.1 seconds long.
So one really annoying thing about this game is that if you're on the edge, you may not be able to actually hop on the edges. Like if you'll see the pair you'll see him like get on the edge then fall off. So
yeah, like the animation terminates as though you're landing on the edge, but you actually slide off. Best as I can figure out, it's because you actually have a hitbox for the bottom of your pogo stick, and if any part of it slides off the platform, then you die. And your momentum continues, your pogo stick doesn't anchor to the ground, so you slide a little bit as you're doing your jump animation. If that slide carries the pogo stick off the ledge, you slide off to your death. And it's exacerbated by a specialty tile I forgot to talk about earlier, which is a glass tile. It's breakable, and it has a really, really awkward hitbox, and we're going to talk about that a lot later in the run, because a lot of these stages are based around the idea that glass tiles are horrible. They actually are doubly horrible, because if you happen to land on a glass tile and then die, you don't start back from the glass tile that you broke, because there's no longer a tile there anymore. Oops, I forgot not to hold up there, that was bad. I'm just going to take it slow here. You actually start from the last solid ground that you were on. So there are some stages where they have you chain glass tiles and you break all of them, and then you die and you start at the beginning of the stage again. So I am just starting stage 21. How you holding up over there, Garby?
I'm on the middle of 20, so...
Alright, we're pretty close,
it's not
actually.
too bad. Haven't died actually, but like, or haven't game over, but some of the stages kind of slow. But
I'm on the Million Skull March here. This is a little terrifying. This stage is really, really dangerous.
oh no, this is bad. Okay.
Oh, there we go. Got it. Whew, that was scary. I had to do a backwards jump for safety.
Maybe let's get this.
That
was the worst 20 ever.
I had a really bad 21. I managed to save it, but it wasn't good.
21's gonna give me trouble.
I'm really excited about 24. Can I just say I'm excited about 24? 24 has become my favorite stage of the game. 24 is, well, you'll see it soon. I won't even describe it. It's more fun if you see it.
So the endless mode is actually kind of a randomizer, I would say. Or, I don't know, like...
Yeah, that's basically what it is.
It randomizes which stage you do, but I don't think it's too interesting on it.
Yeah, it doesn't create any new stages. It just shuffles the order of the regular stages, and you can play them indefinitely. So if you were going to race it, you'd have to race it based on how many stages you wanted to complete, rather than any, like, sets of credits or anything like that. Oh, crap. I missed the strat. I think I'm still okay. There we go. We should be fine. Save me one jump if I do this right, but I didn't do it right, so that's okay. Losing one jump is hardly the end of the world. Nope, it didn't even lose me the jump. Nice. Yeah, I'm really hoping I nail 24 on the first try, because if I get it, it's a showcase level. It's really funny.
Yeah.
Alright, here we go. Probably won't talk much during 24 because this is focus time. I missed it, but I'm nailing the safety strat. Alright, I got the safety strat.
Yeah, it's what... Well, like, with the best strats.
I nailed it first try this morning on, like, the worst practice run I've ever had. It was so bad. I had, like, 3 game overs in the first 20 stages.
Oh, I actually nailed 24 on practice run too, and also 23 if you don't get it right. Like, it can, like, with the reverse and the down arrows, it can be really bad.
Yeah, you can catapult yourself into everything wrong.
Yeah.
Most of the stages after 20 have at least some way they can go catastrophically wrong. With the exception of the one I'm on and like a couple really basic ones. Most of them have the means to become a game over really easily.
Yeah. Okay, I'm on to 24, so I may go kind of safe.
I'm going super greedy. Give me that jump. Oh, I didn't get the super greedy jump. That's alright. I didn't fall down anyway. Stage 25 ends with a long jump that is maybe a couple pixels wide enough for you to be able to do in one jump rather than 2. But going for it means you risk sliding off the edge, setting up for the jump, because you need to have enough momentum to clear it. So I went for it, came up a little short, not the end of the world.
Oh no, let's get that.
And 26 is just a mess.
Oh no, please don't.
Shoutouts to DJ Bunyan, who found the only consistent strategy we've been able to find for this stage.
Who? Well, that was kind of scary, but 24 went well enough, I would say.
I actually nailed the 26
Mind if I
strats.
hop in here with a donation?
Please do.
Yeah.
We have $50 from Buttsbot. It says hashtag BERSK. Does anyone know what that means?
No idea.
I don't.
No.
I think it was $50.
Huh.
Oh, the plot for this game. Yes, that's a very important question. They wake up and find themselves on top of platforms in the sky, and they're like, hey, what's that shiny thing? Let's go chase it. And and that is literally the entire plot. There is an ending, sort of. They have like little cutaway comic panels every 20 stages where they continue to elaborate that they're chasing a shiny thing and they don't really do anything else. And then the ending is they find out it was all a dream. And I wish I was making that up. Oops, that was stupid. Oh, well.
Okay. 26 right now.
What am I on? 28, I think? Ooh, God. That wasn't good. I might actually game over on the stage. It's an easy stage, too. There we go. No, we're good. We're good. It's salvaged. Yeah, that was 28. I should also mention there are actually 4 racers. The back of the box actually says there are 5, but Tiger is not actually in the game, so don't listen to it. It is a liar. We get Hare, Golem, Mochi, and Suzo. Suzo is actually faster than Hare, but doesn't have as high of a jump height. And the reason we use Hare for the speedrun is because we can actually skip some intended level mechanics by jumping over them entirely, whereas Suzo would have to actually participate. Oh, I missed the awesome strat. That's not good. Okay, well, backup strats ahoy on stage 30. It might actually have been faster for me to die and go for my strat again, but we're gonna go for the backup strats. Actually, my backup strat was pretty good.
Oh, okay, cool.
A little scary. I don't like having to ad-lib on stage 30. Stage 30 is horrible.
I don't really have strats for stage 30, unfortunately, so...
Well... Race 100 as Golem. I mean, with Endless Mode you could, I guess. That's a thing you could do. So Golem is the worst racer by far. He has the lowest jump height in the game and the highest speed, so he's utterly uncontrollable. And there's a couple stages where long jumps are required to complete the stage, and he actually is almost impossible to defeat those stages with, because you need to be pixel perfect on your movement at extremely high speeds. Sliding off kills you and then loses you upgrades you need to complete the stage. So he actually is nearly impossible for a speedrun. And completing the run at all with him is just the worst. The other 3 racers at least all have something going for them. Mochi has really high acceleration but a low jump speed. And a low jump height as well. So Mochi's really good at turning and stuff like that. He's not real good for a speedrun.
Okay.
This level I'm on right now has the potential to go really, really, really wrong.
So, I don't know if we mentioned this, but you'll notice every 4 levels we're getting a treasure. But you get those if you complete 4 stages in a row without dying.
Yeah, there's a category for this game called 100%, which includes a couple bonus stages. After the 60 stages that we're running for the marathon, there's actually 26 more that are bonus stages that are after the game's initial credit run. And completing all of the first 84 of those stages without a game over gives you all items, which is the 100% rule. Whoop, uh-oh. I got the gravity down instead of the gravity up. What do I do now? I just died. That's actually probably the best solution.
Okay, 30 complete.
What am I on now? 31, I think?
Oh, okay.
Whatever stage I'm on, I had a bad one.
Interesting, but like, it's not hard, but it can be annoying, like, with how it zigzags.
I was actually further ahead than I thought. I'm on 33. Just finished 33.
Oh, okay.
But I had a bad 33. If it's any consolation, I chained into the gravity increase rather than the gravity decrease. And I had to actually just take a death to fix it. Some of these stages have weird mechanics, like this one you could just skip the whole stage. Whoop, and I jumped off the edge of it. I've actually never done that before. That's new. Cost myself a second and a half. You actually can't overshoot the finish platform unless you like clip the corner of it very slightly. If your entire pogo stick base eclipses it, then it stops your momentum and you actually just land on it. But it is totally possible to just sort of overshoot the corner, and if the pogo stick clips it that way and you don't actually complete the momentum, then you shoot right over the corner of it. I think they intended you to be able to overshoot it in some stages because they put double arrows right in front of the platform on the stage I just completed. And I think the idea of the double arrows is you're supposed to not jump on them because it'll rocket you to the first half of the level. The intended way to complete that is to go all the way around, but Hare gets to cheat because he's a jerk face. The stage I'm on right now is another reason why Hare is the ideal runner for the speedrun, because we're actually going to circumvent the mechanics on the stage. The left side has all these double arrows to speed you up going across, and then clocks to give you a bunch more time because you're supposed to have to double back and go up the right side instead when you realize you took the wrong path. And if I can line this up correctly, Hare can actually skip the jump entirely. There we go. Because his long jump's actually so good, he can reach the ending zone from the unintended launch point. This is one of those stages there really isn't any time to be made up. It's fairly straightforward. Knowing where to go helps a lot here because if you're trying to figure it out on the fly, you'll wind up bouncing into all sorts of holes and miss all the arrows you need to complete the stage. Yeah, Harry's totally cheating. Oops, that was bad. So this stage, the gimmick is that you run out of time really fast, and you have to chain these double arrows up the side. Oops, that was terrible. In order to make it to the other side on time. Oh my gosh. I hit like every tile that wasn't double arrows along the way.
Oh,
it was so bad. I finished it, but it wasn't pretty. I should talk a little bit about what speeds you actually can move at, because there are speed up and speed down tiles that increase or decrease your speed. And obviously we've seen now there's a bunch of arrows and such all over the place. These R tiles are reverse tiles, they reverse momentum 100%. There's all sorts of stuff that can alter your speed. And one of the things that we came to the realization of fairly early on in the routing is that with 2 speed boosts, which is the cap, you can never have more than 2 boosts in either direction, you actually jump normally faster than the double arrows catapult you. And the single arrows are always about the same distance and speed as a regular normal hop, without any upgrades. So once we get to 2 speeds, it's actually beneficial to avoid arrows entirely, which is a blessing and a curse because having to avoid the arrows is sometimes challenging. But on the other side of the coin, it makes it a lot easier for routing purposes because you can usually just hop wherever you want. This is another one of those stages where the timer is supposed to be your enemy.
I just want to hop in here for a second and remind everyone that coming up next is Final Fantasy IV, so you're going to want to get those donations in towards the party names incentives.
Somebody should donate to name somebody Bubsy. We didn't get a chance to do it at GDQ, so... Come to think of it, we didn't get a Bubsy for RPG Limit Break either.
Oh. What a shame.
We have $8 from Towai that says, "Never heard of this series before, but extremely enjoying the pogo jumping action. Good luck to both runners on this really close and exciting race. And thanks for an incredible marathon, putting this donation toward cementing May as a canonical Final Fantasy character."
Nice, thank you for the good luck and the donation.
Yeah.
There's a super risky strat you can use on the stage that I'm on right now. I didn't go for it, I didn't quite have the positioning right to nail it, but there is a strat you can do where you actually skip one of those jumps and just barely land on the edge of one of those double arrow platforms. It actually cuts 2 jumps off the platform. Which, again, mentioned earlier, cutting 2 jumps off a stage is actually a lot.
Yeah, each jump is a little over a second, so yeah, it can add up through the course of the run.
It's about 1.1 without upgrades, and if you get speed boosts, it's a little bit less, but usually rounds to 1.1 anyway. It's such a minuscule time save. I choked on both the core strat and the safety strat on the stage. So now I'm taking the really lame safety strat. Now, I'm guessing the way this is going to work is I'm going to make it to 60 about 2 stages ahead of you, and choke so badly that you actually beat me in stage 60. That's my guess.
Oh no! Why did I try that? I need to get the speed up, the time now. On 40.
You're on 40?
No, I didn't, so there's an interesting quirk with this. Like, if you finish with 0.1, it takes really, really long countdown, and it loses probably like 15 seconds or something. It's kinda...
Oh, that was unintended. That's fine. Everything's fine. We're all fine here now.
Sorry if I talk over you. It's like, I don't always hear what you're saying, so like...
That's alright, it's probably just Discord being Discord.
Yeah.
I promise I'm not saying anything important anyway. Oh, did I get it? Did I get it? Oh, this is scary. Nice. Oh, that felt good. Alright, that was an optimal stage 45. I got every double arrow. That is actually really hard to chain together.
Yeah.
46 is probably the worst stage in the game. I would be comfortable saying that.
Yeah. .42, so I'm still quite a bit behind, but you never know what can happen with this game.
Yeah, this game sometimes just likes to take your lunch money. It's not really nice.
Yeah. So...
I was doing really well on 46 till the end. Well, 1 death aside, anyway. A lot of these late stages, we're routing basically to try and get 1 speed boost, and just sort of coast through it with 1 speed boost. With 2, it becomes almost impossible to control the racer, so there are some super greedy strats we can employ if we get 2, but they are incredibly low success rate, which are my favorites. One thing I forgot to mention, and people have probably already noticed, is that your weight up or weight down and your speed up or speed down bonuses are lost when you fall off of a ledge. If you hit a skull, they are not lost. So even though you lose 1 life, whether you fall or whether you hit a skull, it's better to hit a skull most of the time.
Yeah. Come on. Okay. Good 44.
I had a pretty bad 47, so that should give you a little chance to catch up a little. Alright, I'm going super greedy here. Let's see if it pays off. Oh, I don't like it. Let's see. Oh, yeah!
Nice.
I just PB'd on 48. That was nice. I'll never make that jump again as long as I live. I'll probably never attempt to make that jump again as long as I live. I'm gonna have to clip that later and see if I can route that.
So, So the way the treasures work, like even though we got the 4 treasures at the same time, if you die, that resets like the counter for when you get the treasures. Like I'm getting them on every 4 levels because this runs up for me so far.
Yeah, my run is very not clean. This is expected. I've been falling this for all the strategies that have really low success rates.
Oh no. So this could be probably. That was really slow, but I didn't die.
The stage I'm on right now is probably the one I find second most frustrating because about halfway through the stage, the strategy I am using right now is not going to be very effective. Right about here, I really have to slow it down, and then it's this positioning battle, trying not to land on exactly what I just landed on. Oh, that was extra bad. Okay, well, now back up again.
Just want to let you know we have a $10 donation from Lowercase Rho that says, donating to try to gain the favor of the great kazoo goddess, that she may grace us with her presence. Parentheses, this run is great.
Much appreciated. I think everybody's favorite part is the kazoo. I think it's hard to find anybody who doesn't love the kazoo in this game.
Yeah.
Oh, I have to take a really bad safety strat on 50 because I really screwed up the actual strategy. Yes, the question in chat is completely correct. If you hit back-to-back R's, it will actually catapult you forward again, and it's really disorienting, but there are some stages that's intentional, and stage 60 is one of the ones that we'll see that is routed that way. It's quite bad. Nobody likes stage 60 except for DJ Bunyan.
It's alright.
What? Oh, well. One of those high-risk, low-reward strats just didn't pay off. My 100% run is dead.
Aww.
I'm gonna go for it again, though.
We have $10 from Glitchless who says, Monster Rancher Hop-A-Bout is the glorious video game we never knew we needed. Loving this race.
Maybe I should probably go for a safe start. Alright, thank you for the donation. Oh, gosh. Alright, yep, we're gonna go safety strats now. We're gonna put on our little floaties. Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez. Everything is terrible.
When it rains, it pours. That's this game in a nutshell.
The Hop-A-Bout giveth and the Hop-A-Bout taketh away. Alright, I'm just starting 52 now. Chat thinks you're catching up to me.
Well, I'm on middle 49, so I think probably a little bit.
You probably picked up about 30 seconds on me there at least.
I'm doing all the safety strats, so...
I'm doing the opposite right now. Let's see. Oh, come on, come on. Oh, I almost got it. That would have been super awesome. There is a strat I was trying to employ here where you can actually jump basically the entire stage. You just skip basically to the end. It involves chaining about 4 incredibly dangerous, hold your breath, cross your fingers kind of jumps together, and I missed the second of the 4, which is the hardest one. The first one's actually really hard as well. The 2 that follow up that are actually really easy.
We're going for safety strats, immediately hits a bomb. That's kind of how this game can be.
Yeah, that's actually a guarantee. As soon as you say the word safety, the game's like, oh yeah, okay. Oh, I missed the one platform I needed. Okay, well, I guess we're gonna back this up with over this, over here, and... Alright, it's fixed. Everything's fine here.
I'm on the worst jump of 50.
Oh, I hate 50.
Okay. So... what? That's not... Please don't die. This could be bad.
Yeah, saved it. My 53 was almost horrible, but I managed to save it.
That was a down 50.
50 is a killer sometimes. It doesn't look like a killer, and if you're playing it casually, it's actually really easy. Just playing it fast is next to impossible.
That was like I was going for like a rocket strat that DJ goes for, but like I just barely missed the goal when going for it.
Yeah. Yeah, if you hit the one that's all the way on the right, you actually can't make it. You have to edge to the left on the last platform.
Yeah, but
That was actually a strat that he saw me doing one time and went, I should try this. And then I stopped using that strat. I like to go for a riskier one that saves about 3 seconds, because every time you take the rocket platform, you lose time. But the rocket platform is way safer, way more consistent.
this stage sucks. You're probably way ahead, but shrug.
Yeah, I think I'm like 3 stages ahead right now.
Probably more now. Okay, there.
Yeah, 50 can be a real killer. 50 and 60 are 2 of the stages I'm the most worried about, generally. Oh, that's gonna be interesting. Okay, that was cool as well. Let's not do that again. Oh no! Well, I might be giving you an intro to get in here. Oh, there we go, I saved it. Yes, that's an accurate way to assess it. It is disgustingly hard the first couple times you play it casually. It becomes much easier if you're just trying to complete the stages. If you're trying to go fast, it is incredibly hard. Satisfying, but incredibly hard.
Well, maybe I'll still sub 50.
Oh no, is it going that bad?
Yeah, 52 right now. So
yeah,
that took cost me. Well, I got at the very end of 50, and then I had a slow 50 afterwards, so that cost a lot of time.
Probably about a minute.
No.
Alright, please don't miss the positioning. Thank you. There we go. Whew. Scary. Lowercase Row has the best comment I've ever heard about this game. Oh, come on, give me the jump, Yeah! That's like the second time I've ever made that sequence. That's awesome.
Oh, please. Okay.
Wow, I actually nailed all the double arrows. What is happening?
Cool. Okay, cool.
That was a really good 57.
Yeah.
See, the trick, Chad, is in the story, it's canonical that it's all a dream, so if you're playing it in your dreams, it's in spirit of the game. And I see High Spirits is joining us. Hello, High Spirits. Thank you for exposing most of the people who play this game to this game.
Oh, come on!
The current world record holder would have joined us as well, but he actually unfortunately has to take care of a sick wife.
Okay.
The stage I'm on right now is an enormous time waster, since you have to keep taking all these rocket platforms to make it anywhere, and they're hidden throughout the platforms covered in nonsense. And you have to know where you're headed in advance, and the platforms have really, really weird momentum, so controlling where you land is actually a challenge. Alright, we're starting 59. I'm going to go as greedy as possible.
Cool.
Give you a chance to catch up when I game over like 4 times. Well, that's the first death. It won't be the last, I'm sure.
Oh.
That's the game over. Alright, let's try it again. I like to call these moments Tin Cup moments. At the end of Tin Cup, he keeps refusing to take the spot next to the water feature. He always keeps trying to hit the ball again over and over and over again. I do that a lot with speedruns. I'll get to a point where I'm like, nope, I want to do it right, and I'll keep doing it over and over and over again. Alright, there we go. That was what it was supposed to look like. And Ah, there we go. That's 59.
Okay, pretty good 55s.
Alright, now it's time for me to die a whole lot on stage 60.
Yeah, 60, it's probably one of the most, like, for a lot of people, it's probably one of the most annoying levels, honestly.
The actual odds of dying are fairly low, so I guess I probably won't die on it, but it's very likely I'll hit a whole bunch of arrows facing the wrong direction and take forever to get through the stage. I actually just died with both my weightless upgrades, so it's probably faster for me to take another 2 deaths and then start the stage over. But I'm gonna go for it with just a speed boost and see how it goes. Oh boy, that's not where I want to be at all. Alright, get this weight upgrades back. The game giveth and the game taketh away.
Oh, yeah.
Actually, very likely could die now.
Okay.
Alright, we're in decent enough shape to go for it. Those double reverse arrows chat was talking about earlier. Alright, I'm gonna get this one out of the way just because I have no life left and I have to try and make this jump to win.
Oh.
There we go. I had 14 seconds left on the timer, that wasn't so good.
GG.
GG!
Oh no, I'm on one heart.
I'll let the credits roll while you get caught up here.
So there's like 26 more stages, but this is also a category because the credits for 86 are actually the exact same as the credits for 60. So we just consider 60 a category as well as 86. But yeah. So I think I'm still dead. No, I'm not deathless because of 50.
Yeah. Well, at least 50 is not divisible by 4. That's a really weird quirk of the game. You can have one game over in the first 84 stages and still finish 100%, as long as it's not a stage that is divisible by 4.
Yeah. Yeah, works out you can actually die as much as you want on like the stage after stage divisible by 4.
It's also a really small team for a PlayStation developed game.
So maybe this will still, or no. This is 58. Okay, maybe it'll still say 50, but...
The bonus stages tend to have something really wrong with them that makes them not marketable as one of the first 60, so I'll show one off here while Garby gets caught up.
Yeah.
This is, well, you'll see. So this is one of the breakable glass areas, and if you happen to die on any of these jumps, then you start back at the beginning because you can't start on breakable glass. Landing in these windows is actually really hard.
What do I do now?
Good news, we have a $16 donation from PUWP18 that says, I'm very glad I get to watch other people play games like this so I don't end up throwing my computer out of the window in frustration. Donating some more to the Kazoo Goddess for the end of the race.
Oh, that's sweet.
Thank you so much.
Oh, if I was thinking ahead of time, I would have gone to the PlayStation 1 disc this game is on is actually also a media disc, so you can actually play the soundtrack off of the PlayStation 1 disc. And if I had been thinking, I would have gotten the kazoo track queued up and had it ready to play in the event that one of us finished the race early.
If I remember correctly, someone was interested in seeing the Golem.
Oh yeah. Well...
Maybe soon we'll be able to have a Golem race.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
I feel like that'd be fun to route, but
it's
the thing with Golem is that he has really bad jump, but he actually is the fastest, I think.
Yeah, he's a combination of the fastest. So basically, there's one speed stat. Whoops, I thought I could make that. There's one speed stat, and then there's also jump height. And we are pretty sure, although we're not positive right now, that having a lower jump height actually makes you faster because it speeds up your jump acceleration. So in theory, Golem is actually the fastest one. Alright, people want to see Golem? Alright. I'm going to real quick quit out and do a practice stage with Golem.
Yeah. Okay. Ah, that wasn't... Okay, 50. It's gonna be like a low 50. But still, eh.
Alright. So I don't know if anybody remembered the strats I did back here, but it took me all over the place. First off, Golem's huge, so you can't see the tiles in front of him, and this is as much jump height as I have. And yeah, you're not making that jump with this guy. Can't even get over the reverse tile with this dude. He does have an awesome jump animation, though. Most of the animation work in this game is actually really cool. I'm actually a little bummed that Hare is the best racer for speedrunning because he is the most boring. All the other runners are more interesting, graphically and animation-wise. And, let's see, if we still have a little bit of time while you're catching up over there, I'm going to do...
I finished a couple of minutes ago.
Oh, you did? Oh, I'm sorry. All right.
You do have time, though.
Okay.
Cool. All right, well, I'll show off Mochi real quick. If you want to show off Suzo, I'll just pick a random practice level.
Okay, give me a... Okay, I need...
We'll give the people what they want. A little bit more Hop-A-Bout.
I'll do... Wait, you're doing Mochi?
Oops, that was Hare. I'm going to have to quit out for that real quick. Yeah, I'll do Mochi if you want to do Suzo.
Yeah, okay.
Suzo's actually, if you ever pick this game up for fun, or even if you want to start speedrunning this game, I recommend that you start with Suzo. Suzo is the most beginner-friendly. Hare is actually a lot more technically complex, and Mochi is, in my opinion, the most fun, but nobody agrees with me.
We need to do versus mode sometime.
Yeah, we do. Let's see, actually, I'm going to skip all the way down to one of the bonus stages for Mochi, because it's my favorite Mochi stage.
So, yeah, Suzo's actually a lot, like, he's faster, but generally, he's just not the fastest because his jump isn't super good.
There we go. Come on, little buddy, let's go. To victory. This is probably the most dangerous stage in the game, for obvious reasons. Mochi trivializes it because his maximum jump distance is almost exactly the gap between 4 of those breakable platforms.
Okay, so yeah, that's Suzo.
And there we go. So that's all 4 of the racers. Thanks, guys, for letting us show off Monster Rancher Hop-A-Bout. I hope everyone had a good time with this. It's such a silly game. It's so hard to take it seriously, and it's really fun. And it turns out it's also really challenging and exciting to optimize. So if anybody is interested in learning more about this game or you want to speedrun it, we do actually have a channel set up for it at the Big Bad Game-a-thon Discord. Feel free to stop by, ask either of us for a link. We'll be happy to give it to you. And we discuss a lot of really intense tactical stuff about this game often. So feel free to stop by and enjoy the game with us, or otherwise just enjoy being a spectator because it is kind of a fun spectacle to watch. And I hope you guys enjoy the rest of the marathon.
I have one last donation for you.
Cool.
Cool. Yeah, it was fun.
We have $10 from Fizu that says, I blame Kowal for this donation.
I'm happy to be
Always
blamed
blame
for that.
Kowal.
Yep. All right, everybody. Thanks again for having us, and I look forward to the next one.
Yeah.